Hello, good afternoon, and welcome to the Midday News. The bulletin is live on Joy 99.7 FM in Accra. In Kumasi, we're live on Love 99.5 FM together with 30 affiliates across Ghana's 16 regions, including Dreams FM in Boga, Tanga, Radio Max in Takrady, ATL FM in Cape Coast, Kaleo FM in Akachi, and also streaming live on Facebook, Go Digital on Spotify, and the myjoyonline.com app. In this edition, a charge to deliver in Qatar, but the possibility of meeting some of the globe's top football nations like Brazil, Argentina and France presents fresh challenges.
In the spirit that we've seen in these two matches, and the level of skill too that has been demonstrated, kept together, the sky is the limit.
And we will go to Qatar and make an impression like we've never done.
We build up to the World Cup draw in Qatar as we hear from our correspondent who's been finding out from FIFA how swift sanctions will be issued against countries using unlawful force to attack others.
FIFA is going to act, or this is going to be only for Russia and Ukraine?
FIFA is acting everywhere in the world, and we have to treat the same situations in the same way and different situations in a different way.
Also, assistant coach George Barton has a wish for Ghana to be paired with England in the group stages of the FIFA World Cup. We have details in 20 minutes.
We'll see how that goes. And in Parliament, MP for North has been accusing President Akufo-Addo of constantly breaching the law.
We still do not have the annual report on the staffing status at the presidency, who likes to project himself as the paragon of the rule of law, to be violating the laws of our country in such a violent manner.
There's, of course, prompted angry reaction from the majority side.
Ablakwa, you can't do that. Stop misbehaving. You will withdraw. Ablakwa, you will withdraw. You will not say that of the president. You withdraw.
I'll take you live to Parliament. Also, consumers devising coping mechanisms as price of sachet water jams from 20 to 40 pesos, 100% increase.
I'll just walk into any bank, pretend I'm coming to do a transaction, drink the water and go.
It's come the that's your you can help yourself.
Right now, I'll stick to pipe on water.
We have more coming up, and we take you to the Kolebu Teaching Hospital, where doctors there are concerned that more young people are being diagnosed with stroke, and they blame this on high intake of oily and fatty foods.
Stroke in the young. About 60% of our strokes are strokes below 55 years old, and these are...
Stay glued to your sets for this and more here on the Midday News with me, Emefa Apawu. Many thanks for choosing us. We are your home of independent, fearless and credible journalism. And all eyes will be on the World Cup draw in Qatar later this afternoon as Ghana will know its World Cup opponent. Some will say we'll get to know our smoothness level. The nation's senior men's football team, the Black Stars, booked a place in the biggest football tournament after defeating its West African rivals, Nigeria, in a crunch two-leg tie. Now, this has resulted in high expectations.
Us all the way. I'm grateful for all the support, but this is just the beginning. Qatar is the next stop, and we will go to Qatar and make an impression like we've never done.
Person that we grew up worshipping as the greatest footballer of all, the great Brazilian Pelé, said that in his lifetime he would show that an African team would win the World Cup. In the spirit that we've seen in these two matches, and the level of skill too that has been demonstrated, kept together, the sky is the limit.
You heard there the GFA President Keto Kweku and President Akufo-Addo. Now Ghana could possibly face World Cup champions France and giants Brazil, Argentina and England. Already there are calls for Ghana to be paired with England. Muftar will bring us the details shortly. But Joy Sports editor Gary Al Smith joins us via Zoom with more from that FIFA conference currently underway. And he joins us. Well, Gary, what then would you say is the feeling among the Ghanaian delegation knowing what we could possibly come up against?
I mean, Emefa, it's the first time since 2014 Ghana has been to the World Cup. So you can be sure that they are delighted, because being here itself is a small achievement. That's the first step. Whatever comes, I'm sure they are going to deal with it. And that's exactly what the delegation are saying. You have Keto Kweku here, Vice President Mark Addo, Prosper Harrisonado, the General Secretary, and also Henry Asante-Twum.
And do they have any expectations in terms of these countries that they're hoping to be paired with?
Well, if they do, they are not saying it publicly. You know, they will just say that any country is beatable. Ghana is ready for anybody.
Well, earlier you asked a question when FIFA addressed the news conference. We'll talk about the congratulations. But first, let's listen to this.
Have we reached a watershed moment where from today, anywhere in the world there is a conflict where one nation is invading, hitting at another nation, FIFA is going to act, or this is going to be only for Russia and Ukraine? Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for the question. And FIFA is acting everywhere in the world, and we have to treat the same situations in the same way and different situations in a different way. We have to analyze every situation in the same way. You're saying we were acting swiftly. Today I was hearing we were acting slowly. Of course, you cannot do it right, and any decision you take is maybe the wrong one. We don't know. We will know with time. What we do is analyze every single situation, every single case on its own merits, and then, based on our conscience, we try to take the decision that we feel is the right one in these particular circumstances.
So that's FIFA President Gianni Infantino responding to your questions, but it doesn't look like there was a definite response in terms of what action that could be taken against Russia. Was there?
No, and I mean, this has been a stance that has been worrying for especially us in Africa, because more than any other continent, it is our governments and our football federations that are prone to, have friction between them. I mean, Ghana is not new to it. Immediately has finished the, the AFCON 2021 report. It was only shelved because we were due to play Nigeria. Now, people will go back and want to know how our money was spent. FIFA does not.
From FIFA President Gianni Infantino. Well, tell us a bit about how that came about.
Oh, well, I didn't think it was that much of a big deal, but it seemed like it was a question on everybody's lips that nobody was asking, because I was about the seventh person who asked the question, and a few people asked about Russia and Ukraine, but I just linked it to the African story. And maybe this is pertinent, but guess what? After the question, the most congratulations and high fives I got came from Middle Eastern countries, Arabic countries, and African countries. Do with that what you will.
Of course, we will. But let's talk about our counterparts from Africa that have also qualified to the World Cup ahead of the draw. We know that will be live on the Joy News channel. How are they also faring? How is it looking like for them?
Yeah, we have, it's at 7 p.m. Qatar time, 4 p.m. Ghana time, and everybody's excited, Again, I mean, none of the administrators will tell you that, we want this team or this team, because they don't want to present a front of being weak or whatever it is. They just want to see who they will get and start preparations from now. The World Cup kicks off in the final week of November, on the 21st, 22nd of November, 2022. And there's about 7 months to get ready. So we are looking forward to having legends here and what they will say, plus most importantly, if there are any special plans for African countries like we had before the 2018 World Cup.
Gary L. Smith, all the way from Qatar, and the Joy Sports team doing the most. Muftau is with me in the studio. Already there are some expectations ahead of the draw. Tell us about it.
And the big one is coming from Ghana's assistant coach, George Boateng. He has a wish. And that wish is that Ghana should be paired with England.
I think that if you are at the World Cup stage, you want to draw against the best countries. So for me, it would be amazing if Ghana would draw against England, as an example. Why? Because obviously everybody knows that the head coach is Gareth Southgate. I played with him for 6 years. He managed me for 2 years. I still speak to him on a regular basis where we exchange details and ideas. So it would be amazing for me if Ghana would draw against England. Yes, they are, I think, FIFA ranking number 2 currently. But it'll be fantastic to play against the stars. Imagine, our Ghanaians playing against the likes of Sterling, Jack Grealish, Harry Kane. This will be amazing. So England, definitely. Second, obviously, I grew up in Holland. So I think it would be amazing also if Ghana would draw in the group of Holland. I'm not putting us in the group of death, because then we will have no chance. But I'm very close to Holland, so it'll be fantastic if we draw against Holland. And then because of Otto, I think if we draw against Germany, it will also be amazing for Otto because obviously his background with an attachment with Germany.
That's quite an interesting one. So he wants England, he wants the Netherlands, and he wants Germany.
But it doesn't look like he has to choose England.
Yes,
Argentina. But for you, how does it look like?
I think Ghana would be paired with the likes of South Korea, the likes of Switzerland, and maybe Argentina. With these countries, there's a possibility that the Black Stars can qualify. We might play USA again. It's very possible.
Oh, that one, I think we can do it.
Have you forgotten 2014?
Oh, it doesn't matter, actually.
The draw is at 4 p.m. today, and we start our build-up from 3:45 on the Joy News channel.
It's on the Pulse, on the Joy News channel.
Where we'll be speaking to a host of African journalists. 5 African countries are there. Gary is there. We'll be speaking to Inje, who is the head of sports for Cameroon's top broadcasting, the national television in Cameroon. They've also qualified, dramatically defeating Algeria 2-1 in Algiers. We're also speaking to Salif Diallo, who covered Senegal extensively. Then we're also speaking to journalists from Morocco and Tunisia as well. So we have you covered for this draw.
Of course. And it's also live on myjoyonline.com as well as all our social media platforms. Don't forget, 3:30, we start the build-up on the Pulse, on the Joy News channel, and all our social media platforms across board. Now, let me take you to Parliament, where tempests flared up today after North-Tong MP Samuel Okudzeto Ablakwa accused President Akufo-Addo of being in constant breach of the law, despite his much-touted rule of law advocacy. In the view of Mr. Ablakwa, President Akufo-Addo has not complied with the constitutional provision to furnish Parliament with the annual report on the staff at the presidency. Deputy Majority Leader Alexander Afenyo-Markin will have none of that. Here's what transpired.
So, Mr. Speaker, today is the 1st of April. The President is in clear breach of the Presidential Office Act. I recall that we still do not have the annual report on the staffing status at the Presidency. And, Mr. Speaker, we cannot accept this as a House. If these delays continue, it undermines the authority of this institution, and who likes to project himself as the paragon of the rule of law, to be violating the laws of our country in such a violent manner.
You must be courteous in the language you use, and that, I would insist, is unacceptable, and you would have to withdraw. Mr. Speaker, they can engage in reckless heckling. They can decide. You can't rise on a point of order when I'm in the dispatch board. Wait, when I finish and sit down, Mr. Speaker can give you the right. Ablakwa, you can't do that.
Honorable members, please.
Sit down. Stop misbehaving.
Please. Honorable, please. Honorable brother, please.
And I say that the words he used to describe the president, he must withdraw. Honorable Okudzeto Ablakwa must withdraw that statement. He must withdraw. You cannot say the president described himself as blah blah. I will repeat it, but the records are there. You will withdraw it. You will withdraw. Ablakwa, you will withdraw. You will not say that of the president. You withdraw. Mr. Speaker, he will withdraw.
So that's what transpired in Parliament a while ago. Parliamentary correspondent will fill us in on what we missed. Paka, how did it end?
Emefa, it was obvious that the second Deputy Speaker of Parliament who was presiding was very frustrated and quite helpless on how to deal with senior colleagues in the chamber who were arguing bitterly and, of course, exchanging words. But at the end of the day, he gave an opportunity to the North Shore MP to whether to withdraw or not. But Apawu didn't withdraw. He actually re-emphasized the point that his comments were apt because the president has been touting himself as an apostle of the rule of law, and it continuously breaches the law. And so for him, there was nothing wrong. And urged his colleague on the other side, that is Alexander Fayemaki, to show some respect to members of parliament when he's addressing them, particularly the minority. So they moved on and proceeded with the other business of the house. Which is that the roads minister is before the house to answer a few questions on, one of them currently, as he is talking about, is the construction of the Kaswa-Bodrasu Road. And he's giving some updates on when that will be done because the MP for the area asked that particular question in the past. That's our parliamentary affairs correspondent, Parker Wilson. Parliament always filling us in on what's happening there. Now, businessman Dr. Tete Nete has made serious allegations about how he got involved in the Capital Bank case. He alleges that officials of the collapsed bank coerced him to sign certain documents when the officials were invited by the Securities and Exchange Commission. This was when regulators had commenced investigations into the operations of the financial institutions. He explains that he refused to sign the documents only to see the same documents during his trial bearing his signature. Court correspondent Joseph Akable has more.
The Bank of Ghana in 2017 revoked the banking license of Capital Bank, saying it was insolvent. Dr. Nete, together with the bank's founder William Atuesien and former managing director Fitzgerald Odonko, have been slapped with more than 20 charges, including stealing of various sums worth over 260 million cedis. Dr. Nete is accused of assisting the two officials of the collapsed bank to dishonestly withdraw 130 million cedis of the bank's funds and use same as capital to set up the defunct sovereign bank. Chief State Attorney Evelyn Kilson on Thursday confronted Dr. Nete with some documents showing his involvement in the transaction. She also questioned him on whether he paid for his 32 million cedi shares in Sovereign Bank. These shares, the state alleges, were paid for with money dishonestly taken from Capital Bank. Dr. Nete explained that he did not pay for the shares but owned it on behalf of founder William Atuesien. He alleged there was a document executed confirming this transaction, but Mr. Essien had refused to give him copies. When confronted with documents bearing his signature, Dr. Tete Nete described them as forged and foreign to him. He insists when the regulator started investigating the bank, he was given the said documents to sign but refused. He later saw the same documents bearing his signature during the trial. The case has been adjourned to April 7, 2022. Reverend Fitzgerald Odonko is expected to open his defense.
That's court correspondent Joseph Akable's report. This is the Midday News. We're live on Joy 99.7 FM in Accra. In Kumasi, it's on Love 99.5 FM. We are on over 30 affiliates across Ghana's 16 regions. Includes Dreams FM in Bolga, Tanga, Radio Max in Takrady, ATL FM in Cape Coast, and Go Digital on Spotify and myjoyonline.com app. We've been to Qatar ahead of that major draw where Ghana is likely to meet countries like Brazil, Argentina, France, and that presents for us fresh challenges. Also, when we return from the break, consumers devising coping mechanisms as price of sachet water jumps from 20 to 40 pesos, 100% increase.
I'll just walk into any bank, pretend I'm coming to do a transaction, drink the water and go.
It's come the baby. That's your home. You can help yourself.
Right now, I'll stick to pipe on water.
What brings you to my house this early morning? I hope all is well.
All is never well with me, Nikbakbo. After paying 3 times for the land for my project, the construction workers are now giving me wahala. From material overestimation to small stealing. I am tired.
I told you so, Efokoku.
It's all because you are trying to become builders when you're corporate workers and business people. Edlum has products tailored to meet your needs. Villas 3 at Amrahia, where there are finished homes, Conveniente, also at camera here, where it's contemporary but super affordable apartments. Prices start from $35,000. And the Avant-Garde, located in Adjurigano, which has sleek luxury apartments. For more information, please visit edlumhousing.com or simply call 0270-166-166. Edlum Housing, where spacious homes cost less.
Many thanks for choosing us. This is your home of independent, fearless, and credible journalism. To some more stories now, and some water consumers say they are now devising new ways to cope with the increase in the price of sachet water. Prices have increased from 20 to 40 pesos effective today. The Association of Water Producers also say the retail price of a bag of sachet water would increase from 6 to 8 Ghana cedis. Mona Lisa Frimpong has been speaking to some consumers in Kumasi. Here's a report.
The National Association of Sachet and Packaged Water Producers say the new price of packaged water is informed by the increasing cost of raw materials and fuel. When the new pricing regime kicks in, a sachet of water should sell at 40 pesos. Retailers in the Kumasi metropolis are frustrated at the move. Currently, many say the daily sales of packaged water have dropped.
She
says, we were okay with the previous price, but now electricity bills are high.
$40, $30.
The price of sachet water was recently increased to 30 pesos, but consumers insist on buying at 20 pesos to the disadvantage of retailers. Hawkers selling at 20 pesos make little profit, while those selling at 30 pesos do not record much sales.
She says, an old man just stopped me and bought a sachet at 20 pesos.
Because 30
people want us to sell 2 sachets for 50 pesos. How can we make profit?
Retailers are recording a reduction in the quantity of bags of sachet water and boxes of bottled water.
Bottled water, no, say, one with the man, and the magazine, no 1 CD. No, almost the 20 pesos.
20 pesos have also been added to the bottled water.
130 in a pack. 13 CDs. 13 CDs in a chest and come here and come here 3 CDs. Make one more year. Make casa me 10. Me say Koyana make a first scan. Make was this idea come Koyo almost say. Nipapro didn't usually say, I will find you 145.
She says they can even increase the price of a sachet of water to 50 pesos. We are fed up.
I'll just walk into any bank, pretend I'm coming to do a transaction, drink the water and go.
It's come the way, baby, that's your home. You can help yourself.
Right now, I'll stick to pipe on water.
Mona Lisa Frimpont's report from Kumasi. Now, doctors at the Kolebu Teaching Hospital Stroke Unit are concerned that the increasing number of young persons are being diagnosed with stroke. Head of the unit, Dr. Albert Apawu, explains that stroke is associated with old age and very unusual for young people to be reporting such high number of cases. He adds that the absence of equipment, including CT scanners, is also hampering the detection, diagnosis and treatment of stroke.
Now, what are the problems? We have stroke in the young. About 60% of our strokes are strokes below 55 years old, and these are people in their prime of life. So we need to change that narrative. What are the problems, or what? It is abnormal because it's the reverse in the rest of the world. Stroke is supposed to be in elderly people.
He says to avoid this, Dr. Apawu is suggesting that people should stop eating fatty and oily foods.
So challenges, one, access to funds. NHIS does not support stroke in its entirety. NHIS will not give you a CT scan, so we need to change that narrative. Access to imaging facilities. We need one CT scan per region. I'm being very generous, but we need one CT scan per region. So numbers, everybody has to take care of themselves. We need to eat well. There's a diet called the DASH diet. Dietary advice to stop hypertension, stop adding salt to your food. When your wife cooks the soup, don't put your finger in it, taste it and add salt to it. If you see your face in the soup, then it's not a good soup. Skim the oil off. Eat lean chicken, remove the chicken skin. Eat more nuts, eat more vegetables. Ghanaian diet is a big bowl of rice and a small dot of protein.
That's Dr. Apawu with the Kolebu Teaching Hospital Stroke Unit. Now, long-distance commercial drivers to neighboring countries say the incessant fuel price increment is hitting hard on their businesses and will eventually crush it if government does not take steps to address the high fuel prices.
This car is here since morning. There's no one inside the car. Because of the lorry fare, they refuse to join the car.
How much a lorry fare to Apawu from Accra?
This one is 75 cedis. The government, either you reduce the fuel prices or you close the border back.
Fuel matter is the problem for our drivers. No, they don't have a passenger to go. Since morning I will be here from 7 o'clock. As at now, no move because there's no passenger. The passenger don't want to travel because of the fare too. You are taking 75 for each person.
They should reduce the fuel because we are suffering too much.
We are facing a lot of challenges. It's not easy at all. It's not easy. Government, if you are saying something, we won't listen to you. Whatever can we are already inside, so we can't complain. If you complain to you can't do something about it. No, if I say something better, if I say something, they will listen to me. The top officials, they are saying more than we locals. We don't have anything to say there. The government will listen to us. You go talk. They will not listen to you.
Some long-distance drivers there speaking to Joy News. We're expecting that fuel prices are supposed to go down starting today. It's time now for Showbiz News Flash.
The impact of fuel on the
Ghanaian reggae artist Rocky Dawuni is in the US for the 64th Grammy Awards this weekend, Sunday, April 3. Rocky Dawuni attends the event as a two-time nominee, this time with his Voice of Boom Boom Volume 1 album in contention for the Best Global Music Album. American rapper Yao Talk has revealed that he was inspired to do music by consuming songs from Tema-based Kwesi Arthur during a period of boredom in his life. Yao Talk also mentioned that he is a versatile artist who isn't limited to just drill music, but loves to explore with other genres. It's been about 5 days since the Oscar slap incident. Sentiments, thoughts, and opinions have been expressed by many. However, Will Smith's mother, Caroline Smith, says she was shocked at her son's behavior and that it was the first time she had seen him go off. Meanwhile, his sister also said Will is under pressure as a celebrity.
And that's how we wrap up today's edition of the Midday News here on Joy 99.7 FM. And there's more when you log on to myjoyonline.com. Heated exchange in Parliament as minority accuses Akufo-Addo of constant breach of law. E-levy pass. You get the full list of transactions to be affected and exempted if you visit myjoyonline.com. And Yao Pong assumes office as director of Ghana School of Law today. That and more on myjoyonline.com. Make sure you catch that special draw here on the Joy News channel. It's at 3:30 on the Pulse, also on myjoyonline.com. I am Emefa Apawu. Many thanks for your company. Living Word with Pastor Mental Table is up next.
Hello, please, am I speaking to Miss Joanna Kuma?
Yes, please.
My name is Philip and I'm calling from MTN. Someone has just sent you money and we will need you to enter your PIN number so that we can put the money in your account.
And